Arc Seattle is on the road, bringing the conversation to you. Steve is out right now talking with the community about the top trending stories of the week.
But before we check in with Steve, we asked you on social media to guess where you think he is today. Okay, this is like my favorite part of the segment. It's so much fun. Let's check out some of the responses. Terry guesses Seattle Chinatown International District. And from Colleen, Vantage. Okay, good guess.
That's a really interesting guess. And here's a fun comment. Titus thinks it's Bedrock, you know, where the Flintstones live, right? What are they, Fred? And what's the wife? Fred and
Betty. Is Betty? No.
Oh,
I'm forgetting. Oh my, Wilma, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Oh my goodness.
Steve, are you in Bedrock? Did any of our viewers get it right?
No, I'm not in Bedrock this morning.
What about Vantage?
What I loved was one of the guests. No, not Vantage either, not even close to it. And I loved one of the guesses we got yesterday, too, on my X page, which was somebody thought I was going to the dentist based off of the huge teeth that are on that dinosaur. It's like, no, we're not going to the dentist. Come on now. We're in the beautiful city of Burien this morning, and I have to tell you, Burien has a special place in my heart. Before little Stevie was born back in the 1980s, my parents actually bought their first house here in the city of Burien, so it's where my older brother spent the first couple of years of his life. As you can see here, we are outside Casa Italiana, which is an Italian cultural center. They have a cafe here, a new event space that they open, and a really cool museum inside. So coming up during our next hour, we're actually going to go inside to check out that new event space that they opened last summer, talk about that. So the city of Burien's a little more than 50,000 people, obviously close to SeaTac Airport. So if you live here in the city of Burien, you usually can notice those plane noises hovering overhead. Certainly my parents did when they lived here all these years ago. And it's a really special place. We know that it's been in the news quite a bit over the past couple of months and year, especially when it comes to the homelessness issue with so many communities across our region dealing with homelessness. Burien is no stranger to that. They had some issues with an enforcement of a law in the city of Burien between the sheriff's office and the city. They just put a new ordinance into place last month, so we're going to talk about that too. Just a great place, and we hope to tell you about some of the great things that are happening here in the city of Burien, including some of the business projects as well.
Yeah, Steve, give us a little more of a preview of the topics you're covering while on the road today.
Yeah, so obviously business is one that we're going to talk about. So in our next hit coming up at the bottom of the hour, we're going to talk with a city council member about business. We're going to talk about what she loves about the city of Burien. We're going to talk about the homelessness issue. We're going to talk about this minimum wage law that voters here in Burien passed during the special election earlier this month, and the city is getting some clarification on what it sees as some conflicting laws. There was one that actually took place here in Burien at the beginning of the month. Also going to talk about any potential impact of these cuts to the King County budget that are currently being discussed right now, the impact that that could have on the city of Burien with certainly law enforcement, the King County Sheriff's Office. They have that partnership with the Sheriff's Office here, and what that would do to obviously security and police enforcement here in the city of Burien. So lots to come throughout the next couple of hours, but yes, we thank Burien for welcoming us here on this Friday morning.
Arc Seattle is on the road. I love the little car honk.
Me too, that's so fun.
Yeah, we're bringing the conversation to you. Steve is out in Burien right now talking with the community about the top trending stories of the week.
Steve joins us now to continue the conversation. Steve, what do you have for us this half hour?
Well, we have a special guest this half hour, and this is City Council Member Stephanie Mora. So nice to have you joining us here on Arc Seattle. How are you this morning?
I am well, thank you.
Good. And you were telling me that you have been in Burien for, what, about 20 years, I think, right?
About 25 years now.
Does it seem like it's been that long yet?
It hasn't. It still feels like I just moved here a couple of years ago.
And so much time has passed, right?
Yeah.
What do you love about, obviously you represented the city on the city council, of course, but what is it that you love about the city of Burien?
Definitely our small businesses. We have a lot of great small businesses that have been here for over 30 years, and also our parks. We have a lot of natural hikes you can take, walks. We have a great park down by my house that if you stand on the top of the hill, you can watch the airplanes take off, but you can also watch your little kids playing at the park.
That's cool. I'm sure the kids love looking at all that too, right?
They do. They love the airplanes taking off.
Inspiring pilots, I think. Obviously, we are about 5 years post-pandemic, and I'm sure Burien, like every other city, went through some challenges. But how would you say the city has sort of gone through the last 5 years and recovered from what we saw 5 years ago?
Well, right now we are working on opening up a lot of our programs that had to be closed because of the pandemic. One of the programs that I'm actually looking forward to is our Camp Craze, which is for little kids. That was something that a lot of our residents have been missing, is somewhere to put their kids over the summer or even spring break.
I wanted to ask you about a couple of issues that obviously have been in the news the last couple of weeks, and one is a conversation that I know is going on right now with potential cuts to the King County and their financial situation. A lot of the cuts that have been talked about potentially are with the Sheriff's Office. Do you guys as a city know if those cuts, if they go through, will impact you guys in terms of law enforcement here in Burien?
Right now, I haven't heard that this is actually going to affect us. I know we're one of the few cities that doesn't have their police fully staffed yet. So I don't believe King County has said that they're going to make any cuts to Burien. So I'm hoping that stays that way.
Okay. And obviously homelessness has been a big issue here, just like it has been in many other jurisdictions across the region. There was an ordinance that was put into effect, I believe, last month, and the Sheriff's Office has said they're going to enforce that. Where does homelessness, do you think, stand as an issue with the city of Burien? Are things improving here?
Yeah, we are actually having things improve a lot better. Right now, since the King County Sheriff's Office is enforcing our camping ordinance, we have been able to successfully move just about everyone indoors. We don't have any of the tent encampments anymore, and that's something that I'm very proud of. One of the organizations that we actually hired to help us with this is The More We Love, and they've been actually able to help get everyone moved indoors, also offer them treatment, detox services, but they also work with domestic violence survivors and also human trafficking survivors. So that's something that I'm very proud of, that we were able to have them join our team. Definitely
a positive step forward. We know that we're just weeks out from the special election that took place in February. I know that voters approved a measure regarding minimum wage here. There was a new minimum wage law that went into effect in the city of Burien just last month. And there's some insight or some clarification that the city is trying to get between those two things at the moment.
Yeah, one of the things that people don't understand is Burien's highest minimum wage that we have is actually $21.16. One of our businesses that we have here, Safeway, they increased their starting wage at $21.16 because of the council's ordinance that we passed. However, with the new initiative, that could potentially lower some employers or employees' wages. So we're wanting to make sure the court is able to help us and clarify that, because as it could increase some people's wages, it could also lower the starting wage for some businesses.
One of the things that I know that you wanted to highlight this morning is some great work that the Huckleberry Square is doing here in the city of Burien. And what is that? It has to do with homelessness?
It does. So the organization that we're working with, The More We Love, has partnered up with Huckleberry. And if you have an extra meal that you want to donate, you can buy an extra meal down at Huckleberry and they'll add it to their giving wall, and that helps The More We Love connect with people that they're trying to get moved inside and provide shelter. And that's one of the things that I love about our community. Our businesses and our residents are always finding a way to help each other, and so I love that they were able to partner with The More We Love.
Recognizing that there's a need out there, and then business owners are stepping up to help with that. Obviously, we're in front of a special place this morning. This is Casa Italiana, which of course has a great cafe. There's a museum inside and a new, I think, community space that they opened up last August is what they were telling me. Why did you want to choose this place to come to? And this is actually my first time here, so I'm kind of excited.
Oh, okay. So one of the things that they did over the summer, they were able to renovate the upstairs, and so now we have a space that people can come and rent. If you want to have a wedding, a quinceañera, a big event, now we have a big indoor space, so you can have it any time of the year.
Just wonderful. So we're excited to go inside. Stephanie, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you so much for your time.
It's nice to chat with you, and nice to chat with you about some great things that are happening in the city of Burien, just one of the great communities that we have right here in the Puget Sound region. Ladies?
Steve, I love that. Steve, what do you have for us? You're now inside.
Yes, we are. We are getting warm inside of Casa Italiana this morning, and I want to bring in Joe. This is Joe. He's one of the board members here and also the facilities coordinator. This is a really, really cool place. It's my first time in here, and it's kind of a mixture of things, and we're standing in what is kind of the museum space here, right?
Right.
Okay.
Right.
What exactly is Casa Italiana for people who have not been here before?
Casa Italiana is a nonprofit 501c3 cultural center. It was formed in 2020, and we are a cultural center that is basically does cultural events throughout the year, and we strive to to show the cultural
history
of Italy here in Western Washington and to the greater community. And everything we do here is to show the history of Italy, like this museum here.
Yeah.
They're all immigrants from Italy, from the mid-1800s that came here to Western Washington, and now they settled in Seattle and Garlic Gulch, and eventually moved to Western Washington over in the Burien area, and these are a lot of the pictures from that area.
And you had pointed out there's a familiar face, David, and come over and show this picture. Who's this guy right here?
That's my father here.
That's your father right there, and so that's him, and then that's you.
That's me.
That's you. Which is obviously part of the rich history here in Western Washington in terms of Italian heritage. So you have a museum, you have a small cafe here,
yes.
And one of the really cool things that we're going to do is we're going to walk upstairs here around the corner to show off a really cool space that you guys opened in, what, August of last year?
August of last year, yes.
Okay, and what is that space as we walk up the stairs? What is the space?
The space is our hall that we developed. It seats 158 people.
Okay.
And it's for weddings, dinners, cultural events, different activities, bingo, whatever we want to, wedding, birthday parties, meeting hall, corporate events.
Anything you want, basically, right?
Yes.
I mean, what a beautiful space. And why did you guys decide to put this here? What was the reason behind it?
Well, the reason behind it was we need to sustain the building.
Yeah.
We need to make money to sustain the property.
Mm-hmm.
We're a nonprofit 501c3. We need to, need to sustain our
If
business.
somebody wants to make a reservation, how do they do that? Just call you guys up?
There's a website we can go on to.
Okay.
To be able to reserve the hall, and we have a pricing for the hall now, and we also have two other halls here too, downstairs, the northwest room and the lower room to the east, and it's available now, and it seats 158 people, and eventually, hopefully, we'll have an elevator here to service getting people up here and down the road. But we have an acre of land here to available parking, and it's a slow growth. But again, we're here in Burien, and we're here to serve the community.
Yeah.
And that's our mission. Our mission is to cultivate the culture of Italy as much as we can to the greater community, and that's our mission. And
you guys are doing a great job with it.
We're trying.
Yeah, you sure are. And what I love about this space too, ladies, there's a disco ball inside here.
Oh
So
my goodness.
as soon as the night comes, that's when the party really gets started.
Every event space
Thank you,
needs
Joe.
a disco ball.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Every space needs a disco ball. That's right.
And we also have an Italian consulate.
Oh, yes, yeah. One more thing, too, is they have an Italian consulate, too. And so somebody doesn't have to go down to San Francisco
Right.
to
So we have an
get all that
Italian
kind of stuff
consulate
done.
that serves 5 states, and here every Friday that gets passports and visas for people.
Amazing.
Yep. We also have Italian language classes. Eventually we'll have Italian cooking classes. We have an Italian library here, 3,000 books.
Wow.
And we have a liquor license and a gambling license, and we do all
So much to explore.
So much to do.
Check out Casa Italiana, which is a great place here.
Especially
in
for those Italian cooking classes that are coming. I saw the sign below. I think David showed us
wanna do that.
Italian cooking's coming. Okay, sign me up.
Steve is out in Burien right now talking with the community about the top trending stories this week.
Yes, Steve joins us now to continue the conversation. All right, you're back outside now. What are you going to show us this time?
Yes, I am. And we have the jacket on, and I love how you guys added that little beep beep. I think we need to make that permanent for that open there. Yes, we have switched locations. We are now basically in the heart of Burien here in downtown, and this is Lorraine Sachery. Did I get it right?
You did.
Yes.
Thank you.
The Economic Development Coordinator or Facilitator here for the city of Burien. Welcome. Thank you so much for having us this morning.
My pleasure. Welcome to Burien.
Thank you so much, and thank you for having such a beautiful day out here this morning.
Thanks. We did what we could.
Yes, you did. You put in some calls. So I know we were just chatting. You've been living in Burien for about 10 years now, obviously working with the city for a number of years as well. What do you love about living and working here?
Well, there's several factors. First, Burien is a place for people who love to eat.
Yes.
We have amazing restaurants from cuisines from all over the world. We also have an amazing number of international grocers, everything from Burien European products at Balkan Market, Al-Thurat, which specializes in Middle Eastern goods, so things that you can make at home. We have a lot of different Asian markets like Hong Kong Market, Wayne's Market, and of course Mexican and Central American specialty items. And Burien is just a hodgepodge of immigrant communities that kind of bring authentic flavors, a sense of community to it. So also too, events. We are known for our events. People come as far as Bellingham and as far south as Tacoma. We have really fun events such as our 3-day Burien Pride. We have our amazing Dia de los Muertos event that is now celebrated its 10th year.
Amazing.
It's huge, and it's just the artists come out. It's a fun community event. Arts are really important here in Burien. We have a lot of artists that live here, so you'll see lots of murals around the city as well. So, and we have one of the few year-round farmers markets, and that's right here in Burien.
Which I love.
Every
Checking those
Thursday.
out.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, I
Yes.
love farmers markets so much. One of the things that I was asking, and we had one of the council members on the show about an hour ago, and was asking her is, obviously we're about 5 years removed from the crux of the pandemic, which was a really hard time for any city across the region. How would you say Burien is doing in that recovery process, and are you still sort of feeling some of the impacts of that?
Absolutely. I think, especially with our small businesses, they feel the brunt of it the most. But what's great about Burien is that we really rally and love and support our small businesses. And so the city has been able to launch a variety of pandemic relief programs, such as grant assistance for a while there, and there still continues to be incidents of vandalism or breaking in, and those costs are incurred by a small business owner, where then their insurance, they still have to pay the premiums. And we had a Burien storefront repair grant program to kind of help ameliorate those, those costs and that burden on the store owner. So there's different ways, and then we also have been working on different marketing initiatives, our Shop Local Burien website, because what we noticed is that some businesses didn't have an online presence, and if they did have social media, it might have looked like they hadn't posted in several years. But this is a way for the city to say, like, we're going to include you on this platform. We had a professional photographer take some really great pictures of the offerings, the business owner, because people want to see who are they supporting when they go and make their purchase. And to be able to put that front and center and say, this is who you're supporting, this multi-generational, family that has been here in Burien for years, I think really helped, and that's something we still continue.
Where do you think Burien goes from here?
Burien, well, we are still have significant growth. There are people that are moving from Seattle or other places where, it's less affordable now. And then people just really cherish, again, the diversity of our community. That also, too, it feels like a small town. Even though we're a city of 55,000 people, I get stories so many times from business owners that open a location in Burien and they have another location elsewhere, and they'll say, you know what, I had so many people knocking on the door, introducing themselves, saying, when are you opening? I can't wait to meet, wanted to meet you, what's happening here? And I think that's just a testament to how we're so interconnected, and again, that kind of small town vibe, but we're a city and we have a lot of amenities to offer.
I love that, and I love this area of Burien too. Lorraine, thank you so much for joining us this morning. It has such great things to offer, and some of these beautiful shops too, which I hope to check out after the show this morning. Maybe get some coffee too, because that sounds really good. Back to you guys.
Yeah, and there's like a pie company behind you or something. I keep seeing that.
I know, right?
Oh.
I know. You
Please,
can get one of those too.
Please give us a report, Steve.
I'll put it in order.
Perfect. Yes.
I would like apple crumble deliciousness.
Yeah.
Apple crumble. Got it. All right.